The Hermit. Yeah, I'm hearing lead the way. I'm hearing trust yourself. Yeah, get into your own energy. If you've been spending a lot of time just around people and around things and consuming a lot of media, consuming a lot of other people's thoughts, ideas, energies, and all that, this is a call right now to spend some time in your own energy. If you create things, especially music, listen to your own music for a while. Consume the things you've made. Be immersed in your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own energy, and see what there is to be found there. Understand that nothing you're seeking has to come from outside of you, and it won't come from outside of you. Understand that you have the blueprint within you. So the things you've been making, the things you've been putting your energy into, and the way you've been showing up has a lot of information for you as far as where to go next and what to do next and what you're called to do. So if you're not sure whether to go left or right now, spend some time in your own energy, spend some time with your own creations and in your own world, and understand that that's going to light the way to where to next, because the blueprint is within you and you've been leading the way. And you, especially in times when you follow those urges and you're like, I don't know why I'm feeling pulled to do this, but I'm just going to do it. And in those moments, understand that, yeah, you're exactly where you need to be, and the GPS is on, and it's in your heart. And the things that light you up and the things that make you feel inspired and that pull you to places is exactly where you're supposed to be at. So trust yourself. And when in those moments when you're not sure what to do or you feel lost, understand that you just need to spend some time getting clear with yourself. Spend some time in your inner world, and understand that when it's time to come out of there, you'll know exactly where to go next. You'll know exactly where you're called to, because all you need in order to know that is yourself, is a clear connection to yourself, and that it'll always tell you exactly where to go next. So spend some time in this hermit energy, embrace it, and understand that being alone doesn't have to be lonely. Being to yourself doesn't have to mean something's wrong. Other people might feel like something's wrong, like, dang, you've been, ducked off or put up and staying away. But it's like, sometimes that's very important to get clear, because if you're around a bunch of people, and especially if you're someone who's sensitive, if you're someone who's very, very connected, you might move at a slower pace than other people. So if you're around other people, you might be sitting there consuming their thoughts because they're always talking, or their mind's always running, and they're always, putting these things out there. Meanwhile, you move at like a slower wavelength like this, and they're just kind of like this. They understand that if you're only around other people, there may not be room to hear yourself. There might not be room to hear your guidance or any of that. And you're going to feel confused. You're going to feel a little lost. You're going to feel a little chaotic and scattered, because you're taking on the energies of scattered people, of scattered things, of, a bunch of things that aren't you. So, make sure you're keeping a good balance of your inner world, your outer world, yourself, other people, and that you're not leaning too far into one way or the other. So embrace this hermit energy. And the number 9 seems significant too as well. And that feels like completion, and that you're ending a cycle right now. And right now, in order to get your next steps and to step into this next chapter, this next era, is going to come through you being by yourself and in your own energy and getting clear. And 2 of Pentacles at the bottom. Things are being restructured right now and being rebalanced. So that's why you're being called into your inner world, so you can see what's next, see where to go, see what you've outgrown, see what's dead weight. And when you emerge from this hermit space, you know exactly what needs to go. You know exactly what needs to stay, what needs to be amplified, and what direction to go in. So this process is going to happen regardless, but you can definitely lean into it, embrace it, and meet it halfway, and allow it to be smoother for you by just choosing to do so and by showing up and meeting the universe halfway. But hell yeah, I definitely get the feeling that you're going to do that, and it's already done. But that's just a call as to how to make it happen smoother, and for some happen faster. Hell yeah. Ooh, damn. Ooh, Ten of Pentacles at the bottom again, y'all. Remember, it's all here. This is it. This was one of the first cards that came out. And it seems like it's going to continue to remind us what this is all about and the themes this week. I'm telling you, this is your fast track to everything. And remember, these opportunities are going to continue to present themselves this week. Queen of Pentacles. Be calm and be confident. And yeah, and this quantum shift and these quantum leaps that are available to you this week and these opportunities that are presenting themselves. Don't overthink them. Don't second guess them. Embrace them all as possibilities to shift you right into your highest timeline. Understand that they may not all do that, but you embracing that and being open to miracles, being open to expansion in everything that presents itself. All it takes is one. You approach 5 opportunities this week as, okay, this is the one, or this could be the one, or it may only just be 4 of them might not lead to anything, it may not lead to big shifts. But understand that all it takes is one. And you just embrace, and even if none of them lead to a big shift, you embracing the energy, you embracing them all as miracles, you embracing them all as magic will allow them to be magical. Even if they don't take you to your billions, your millions, or shift you into a whole nother life, understand that the energy in which you approach these things and that you do them with will pay you. And you'll feel better through them. And you'll be like, wow, like, that was awesome. Like, that was amazing. Like, that was really something. And it's like, that's enough. Because trust in that vibration, you'll realize, like, wow, I can approach everything like that. I can approach everything that presents itself to me as a miracle. 34, as I say that, as a miracle, as something that's amazing, as something that's just for me. And it will unfold exactly like that. The most mundane thing, you can approach a meal like, oh my God, like, this is about to be the best meal ever. This meal was prepared just for me. Like, this is a meal that's really gonna get me in touch with myself and all that. You can approach it just like that. And I promise you, when you eat it, it will do just that. And you'll be like, wow, like, that was really amazing. And you'll be like, wow, why haven't I always been eating like that? Why haven't I always been showing up like that? Why haven't I always been going to this place prepared for miracles? Going to this place or going to this thing prepared for it to change my life, And it will. And understand that as you do that enough times, that'll become your new normal. And you're going to look up and realize your whole life did change. You did shift. You did fall right into all of your abundance. And it's like, because it was always a choice. You always had the ability to choose a perspective that pays you. You always had the ability to step into every room as if that room was hand selected for you to be there. As if God dropped you off himself. As if the universe created that space just for you to go into, because it did. So understand that it's always a choice, and have confidence this week and in every present moment that everything that's showing up for you is divine. Everything that's showing up for you is a miracle, and that it is your time. And not because the new moon, not because someone's coming to save you, not because you worked so hard and deserve it, just because you simply chose. And you are God. And you can choose. You have that ability. And yeah, it's just time to do that. And understand that this is your 10 of Pentacles moment. Because you chose. Because you realize that you have the power. That you have that connection to the universe and to source. And to the very things that run through this whole world. That created this whole universe. And it would be silly to think that you're at the mercy of this and that when you're made of the very things that all of this is made of. So lean into your power and understand that it's all yours, and that everything that's showing up for you right now is the quantum shift, is the magic, is the opportunity for more. And all you have to do is choose it and allow it to be, and know that it's done, and not get lost in your mind, and in your mind or any of the illusions that are going to make you feel like you're making things up or you're delusional or any of that stuff, because you're not. And you know exactly who you are, and you know exactly what you're capable of. So yeah, stop playing and lean in and embrace it all as miracles. I don't care what it is. Yeah, I don't care what it is. The Amazon delivery driver turns onto your street as you turn onto your street. Like, yo, that's a miracle. Wave to them, say hello, introduce yourself, embrace them, and meet the miracle head on and allow it to be a miracle and see what there is to find there, because I promise you there will be something, even if it's just common ground, because that's a miracle in itself. Feeling seen and feeling felt, or feeling like you're not alone, is a miracle, is a blessing. So hell yeah, embrace it all and understand that that's the magic. Your awareness and your choices and your ability to see the miracle and the magic in everything is the magic, because it is all magical and it is all connected to source, and it all is source. So the miracle is within and the magic is there as long as you allow it to be and trust it. So hell yeah, that was a dope message. I really like that one. And hey, it's going great. Very, very magical Monday. Very loud Monday too. But hey, we rolling, so I'm grateful nonetheless. Yeah, there's a very patient energy. I know it seems loud and very busy, but even that feels like distraction and feels like illusion. Underneath all that, it's very, very, very calm. Like even throughout all the noise, there's no wind. Like the wind is not picking up. I see like the trees are not really moving. I haven't really seen too many squirrels. There hasn't been any lizards. Like, yeah, the natural things seem to be very, very calm. The noise is like man-made noise, or like machines and things like that. So that may be a call, don't fall for the illusions. Pay attention to nature right now. If things feel a little crazy, see if nature feels a little crazy too. It might not. And understand that that's what's real. Everything else is, constructs and, people themselves. And, other people's choices. But yeah, underneath it all, things are very calm. As you see the cards, I was just about to say they haven't been jumping out, and then they tried to make me look silly. Hell yeah, and look, Two of Pentacles on the bottom again after all that shuffling. Things are being rebalanced right now. Trust the energy and don't fall for the illusions. Queen of Swords. I'm being called to the butterfly up here. Big metamorphosis energy. And this feels like transformation of the mind. Like not even like physical or like your physical world or your physical self changing, but more so like your mind. And hell yeah, more so your mind transforming and coming out of a cocoon as far as just how you used to see the world, how your mind used to operate, how you used to believe your life works, versus now and understanding that you have a choice and that you are the center of your universe and that you experience everything that you experience through yourself, through your body, through your mind and all that. And you understand that that's your reality. You can drop two people in the exact same place, situation, and have them go through it together and understand that they will experience it two completely different ways. I don't care who they are or if they do the exact same things, because they're two different people. Their nervous systems are different, their perspectives are different, their ways of interacting with the world is different, their vibration and frequency is different, so they will experience it two completely different ways. And if you ask them like a week later how, when, or what happened, they will probably remember different things completely, even though they experienced it together. The things that they will point out as significant and the things that they will point out that happened will most likely not be the same. So understand that if you want to change your experience with your reality, a surefire way to change that is to start with your mind. It's to start with deconditioning, to start with shedding the programs that aren't you. To change what you're consuming, to change your mental diet. If you're somebody who watches a bunch of news all the time, stop it. I was gonna say you might want to, but no, stop it. Watch less of it for sure, and see how that changes. Go interact with your world, because this is the world is huge, but when you think about it, your reality is your reality. Like, yes, there's the collective, yes, there's the things that we all are experiencing, but understand that your reality is yours for a reason. The things that show up in your life show up for a reason. The things that you resonate with for a reason. And I know you've experienced that. Like, as big as this world is, there's been those times where you're like, wow, what a small world. And it's like, the world's not that small, but your reality is your own. So yes, there will be things that pop up and will resurface and spin the block, and you go to this place and you bump into this person that you used to bump into, you know, and it feels like, wow, like, what are the odds of that? And it's like, your reality is your own. So spend time immersed in your reality and understand that, yeah, the best way to change your reality is to change yourself, is to change your mind, to raise your frequency, raise your vibration, and understand that that's where it all starts. And that this metamorphosis in changing your life, changing your experience begins with you. And see, it's above her head. It's that connection to her mind, which is her connection to it all, you know, the crown chakra, and receiving your downloads from the universe, from God, and all that is going to come through your mind and your connection to it all. So if your mind's not a place where it's been cultivated, it's not a safe space for you, understand that your reality may not be a safe space for you. And not because it's not safe, but because your awareness is not in a clear space that allows for it to appear safe, or allows your experience to be safe. But you're divinely protected, so you are safe, and things will be okay, but you may be taking on, it may not feel okay, and that's only a product of your awareness. And you can change that. You can definitely work on that. And that feels like the call here, is to be confident in yourself and your ability to change your reality, to change your world. And that it begins with you. And now the first step in that is also acceptance. You're not going to be able to get to anywhere else without accepting where you are, you know? Because it's like, for example, if you're somebody who has an addiction or something, you're not going to be able to fix the addiction or help the addiction or fight the addiction without accepting that you have an addiction, you know? Because if you're sitting there saying, like, I'm not addicted, why would you change? Why would you stop? Like, because you're not, because you don't feel like you have a problem. 44 as I say that. So understand that in order to get to somewhere else, you have to accept where you are. You have to own the fact that you're okay, like, this is where I'm at. I may not necessarily want to be here, but this is where I'm at. This is what can be learned from here. This is, because you are where you are for a reason. There's lessons that, and you can leave whenever and change your reality whenever, but understand that the difference between where you are and where you're going is you changing, is you understanding that you can change your reality, is you understanding that you are where you are for a reason, that there's lessons in the exact space you are for a reason, and that you chose to be where you are for a reason. And like, yes, where you're going is where you're going next, but that's not going to happen until you embrace where you are and learn the lessons that are waiting for you in the space you are in. So understand that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and in the future you're going to be exactly where you're supposed to be then too. But right now you're just being asked to cultivate yourself, to build that connection to yourself, and to understand that you are the center point of your universe, and that chasing things on the outside is not going to get you to where you're going, and that the physical is results. So in order to get to where you're going, you need to create different results, not necessarily work with the results that are already here, that are the product of past, present moments and versions of yourself that aren't here anymore. So yeah, it all begins with you. It all begins with your soul, your spirit, your body, your mind, all of that. And understand that as you work with that and become more acquainted with your inner world and who you are, that the physical will have no choice but to change and to reflect these new connections to yourself that you've built. Because it's all just projections of your inner world and who you are. So get in touch with who you are, shed who you aren't, and allow everything else to come right behind it, because it will. So hell yeah, keep doing your thing. Hey, 46 as that message comes to an end. Things are being rebalanced right now. All these are just a product of that process. So embrace it. Whew. That message took a lot. Just all the noise out here. It was, I don't know if you could tell, but I was definitely fighting for my life to get that out. But I think I did pretty good. So I hope you guys were able to receive that, and it was more in a straight line than it felt, because it definitely felt a little scattered, but it felt right, so I'll trust that. Oh, what's this? We got a stand-up guy over here.